Best iPhones for 2025. Let's find out which those are and which ones you should avoid at the end of this video. So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. And August can be a tricky month for iPhone buyers with the risk of buying too close to the Apple event. And some people are already thinking, here's a good idea, don't buy any iPhone, just wait till next month. But that's not always the case for everyone. Some people just want to buy a phone today. They don't want to wait 30 days and then have to deal with that pre-order stuff and then wait in lines and then potentially the phone's sold out. Some people just want a phone right now. But there are some phones that are just not good buys right now due to that upcoming event, but there are some that are safe. We'll start with the very first safe one here, and that's going to be the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Now, the reason that the iPhone 16 Pro Max is a very safe buy is because the 17 Pro Max is not likely going to substantially blow this phone away. Yes, it will have a better camera system. It will have a little bit of a different design. It will also have, a little bit better battery life. Everything's going to be a little bit better, a little bit this, a little bit that. But Apple doesn't usually year over year drastically change. This one was a big change because of the thinner bezels, the 6.9-inch screen. So a lot of the core elements that made this phone great are going to be carried over into the iPhone 17 Pro Max. And because of that reason alone, this one's not just going to be some chump after that event happens. It's going to be still a really good option. So if you don't need 12 gigabytes of RAM, you don't need the new camera bar thingy design that they're probably going to bring. If you don't need just a little bit more battery life, even though this thing is like 2 days easy, this phone is going to be a 100% a safe buy right now. So I definitely still recommend the 16 Pro Max if you're looking for a phone today. It definitely still shines in most departments, including a really bright display, really long battery life, superb performance in the latest updates, also camera control button, superb ultra wide camera, superb cameras across the board. Let's talk about the next one that's a safe buy, and that's going to be the smaller brother to the iPhone 16 Pro Max, the 16 Pro. This phone has been my main driver for quite a few months here. I mostly just wanted to use something a few months ago that was just a lot easier to hold than the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and this has been the case. I've really enjoyed the 16 Pro. It basically has a 6.3-inch screen based on the reduction in bezels, which allows this phone to feel somewhere in between like a 6.7 and a 6.5, maybe a little bit smaller, but it just kind of has that older Max feel, but compact body. It's been a very good experience here. It also has a wide enough display, and it has all the same features you love about your 16 Pro Max, including the sharp ultra wide. You do have yourself the camera control button over here, the bright display, blazing fast performance. So every day this phone just feels like just the right kind of phone. It's still a safe buy. The 17 Pro is likely going to have faster RAM. It's going to probably have faster performance, maybe one extra sharper camera, including the front-facing camera, and maybe a reduction in dynamic island, but I'm sure it's going to have about the same size display, probably a similar ProMotion panel. And so this one's not just going to feel outdated. It's just going to feel like last year's phone, but it's definitely still a safe buy right now, the 16 Pro. While it is a little bit pricier than the base 16, it is a lot better than the base 16. Let me go ahead and flip that around because that light is getting all up on the phone there. So we'll just flip that around. As a matter of fact, the ones we already talked about, we'll just flip those around. So we got the iPhone 16 Pro and the 16 Pro Max as safe buys. Now, the best value pick right now for me has got to be the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Now, with the 15 Pro Max, you are getting yourself, hold on, let me go ahead and unlock this to get these notifications out of here. You do have yourself the same kind of size as the 16 Plus, a little bit smaller than the 16 Pro Max, but you have the premium build of the titanium that came on the 15 Pro Max, including the action button, which is a customizable programmable button. There's only a few things you can do with it, but still it's different than some of the older iPhones. It still has very fast performance, very bright panel, and it's smoother operating than the iPhone 16 Plus. So this is a very safe buy as well. The iPhone 15 Pro Max, and I don't even think a lot of people will need to upgrade this year from a 15 Pro Max to the 17 Pro Max unless they just really want a new phone, because it still does very well. Now, I've had this thing a couple of years and my battery health is at 99% because I stopped using it at about 117 cycles, which was about when the 16 Pro Max came out. But definitely, I kind of miss its lighter form factor. It's 6.7-inch size with the premium build. For people who like the iPhone 16 Pro Max but find it a little bit too big, and then they look at the 16 Plus and they're like, that's a nice phone. The 15 Pro Max is probably going to be the best option for you. It's a very safe buy right now, and still has plenty of longevity left under its belt. So I definitely think that's the best value pick here. Now, the 15 Pro Max is also a smart choice because it's in a lot of ways better than the 16 Plus and cheaper to find now. So it's just really a good option at this current time. Now, the 16E is getting a mention in this video because the 16E, once again, notifications, hold on. The 16E is, it's just not a phone that is going to be upgraded for a while. So we're not seeing no E devices for several months down the line. And so if this is the budget you're in, the price range you're in, and you've been eyeing this phone right here, you want something a little bit more classic, feeling like an older iPhone 13. This has the latest chipset in here. It's got the Apple modem inside. So this is a very safe choice as well here. It does have the 4.04 gigahertz, 8 gigabytes of RAM, Apple Intelligence. So this is a super safe choice. It's also a one-handed phone, and if you like that classic iPhone 13 kind of feel, you might really like this phone right here, the 16E. While not an exciting phone whatsoever, definitely makes my list because it's not going to be upgraded for a while. So that's definitely one of the better ones to buy if you're not really looking at the price ranges of the new ones. You need something less price that's not going to get upgraded here, likely in September. So definitely that's a fine choice. Not my favorite, but definitely it's one of the better options if you're looking for a lower priced iPhone for sure. You can also look at something like the older iPhone 15, but for small iPhone fans, believe it or not, the iPhone 13 mini, if you can find this phone, is still making my list here in 2025 in August, because they kind of discontinued this phone, and what it had was a very nice overall design. Hold on, I'm just putting my password because I don't want that to showcase. It had a very nice design here, definitely really just shine for having a just easy to use one hand. It still has the classic silent switch. It's just a tiny iPhone. It's 5.4 inches. It's not as small as some of the older iPhone like 5s, but if you kind of look at it next to a Pro, you look at it next to a Pro Max, a Plus, a 16 Pro Max, it's just the king of compactness. So this one definitely for small iPhone fans, still getting updates, still works well. It's definitely an option you can consider. Let's go ahead and see if we need to back out a bit there to get all iPhones in frame now. And this 13 mini, or even the 12 mini if you want to really save and get something compact, but that's kind of getting really kind of old at this point. And the iPhones to avoid right now. Well, I got two of them here, but I got a couple more I'm just not going to show, but I am going to mention. Number one is the iPhone 16. The base model 16. Reason why is this phone, while it might look very identical next month, it's likely going to get the ProMotion display, and that is a major upgrade for this device right here. It's going to be very smooth feeling by comparison to this one, and it likely will probably get that better front-facing camera. And for the base users out there, a lot of people do use social media, and they do take a lot of selfies and stuff. With the people that buy these phones right here, they likely will enjoy just waiting for the base model and getting the better version of the base model. So this one for me, I would totally avoid right now. Don't even entertain it just till we come out with the iPhone 17s next month. That will probably be a good option though if you want to save as they reduce the price and keep it around. They're probably going to get rid of the 15 models and just make those the cheaper models this year. We'll see what happens though. And then the iPhone 16 Plus, also going to get a non-recommendation right now, even though I think it's a pretty good phone. It's lightweight. It's got some interesting color here in the teal. Nice camera design overall, but again, this is going to get those same upgrades that the 16 to the 17 is going to get to the 17 Air though. This one is not likely going to be called a Plus no more, but it will get thinner in the version of an Air. It will have one camera, but it probably will crop in on that sensor, so you won't need two cameras on board. But for those of you who want a lot of cameras, it's not even your option. That's going to be the Pro and Pro Max series. But the 16 Plus going to the Air is probably going to be a nice change for you. We'll see if they drop it. I'm pretty sure they're going to drop this particular model. But the Air is likely going to have some decent battery life, not as good as this one, but smoother display and thinner design. And the 16 Plus has always been kind of a lighter, bigger iPhone. So I think the Air is going to be a nice, solid replacement to this one. This could change though. If the Air turns out to be a flop, I might reverse my take on the 16 Plus. The 15 Plus, also a decent option because you can find it much cheaper than this right here. But to talk a little bit more about when you can expect these upcoming iPhones, we are looking at probably a launch day of September 9th, and then maybe a actual or announcement day of September 9th and an actual launch day of September 19th. That's my predictions. There's no like confirmations just yet, but those are my predictions. And then iOS 26 is also going to come in those time frames. I would also recommend avoiding iPhone 14, 14 Pro, and 14 Pro Max. Those phones don't support Apple Intelligence, even though they seem like very premium devices. Most of these here do, except for that one right there. And you probably already have a 12 or a 13, so I'm not really going to say avoid them because you might already be on those. But definitely, these are the best iPhones here to buy. The 16 Pro Max, 16 Pro, 15 Pro Max. Also, I could give a mention to the smaller 15 Pro if you wanted to get that one as well. 16E, because it's just not going to be upgraded for a while. I'd skip out on these and just wait to see what they do with the base models. And if you want a compact phone, the iPhone 13 mini. Let me know if you agree with my list, disagree with my list down below, and what you're excited to see with the upcoming 17 Pro, Pro Max, maybe the Air, or even the base model next month. Let's chat about it. Let's chat about what you guys want to see going forward as well when they do arrive to the channel, so we can start getting prepared for that. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Nick here, and I will catch you all in the very next episode. Be sure to be well, and peace.